As always, all reading material can be found in the description. So, without further ado, let us begin today's reading with the first file on our list. Item number SCP-152, classified as safe. 152 is a large, hardbound book with leather bindings. The paper inside resembles vellum and is written upon in black ink. The contents of the book consist entirely of a series of entries that describe apocalyptic events, which are not always XK-class end-of-the-world scenarios, but invariably deal with the extinction of humanity. The entries are arranged in chronological order, beginning with an unexplained spontaneous failure of the sun in 6000 BC and ending with other events close to the present day. Many of the entries describe apocalypses caused or facilitated by objects that are or were in Foundation custody, or are of a paranormal nature. There are also records of human extinction caused by more conventional means, such as nuclear warfare or deadly viral epidemics. Each entry describes in some detail the events leading up to the calamity itself and the aftermath until the point at which the last human on Earth dies. It has been observed that the entries in 152 change to whatever language the reader is most comfortable with, up to the point where the sentence structure can change significantly from reader to reader, or even begin using colloquialisms that only the reader would understand. Only the basic meaning of the entries remain consistent. If multiple people are looking at 152, it will read in the personal language of whomever began reading first. If no one is directly observing 152, it will display the language of whomever read it last. Rarely, words will appear in the book that do not translate, and instead appear as horizontally arranged calligraphic characters, which have not been matched to any known language. To the best knowledge of Foundation historians, most of the information contained in 152 is accurate, diverging only at the point where the apocalypse occurs. In almost all cases, the difference is that a few key decisions were apparently made differently in 152's version of history. resists all attempts to change or write in it. Inks, graphite, charcoal, and other marking materials do not adhere to the pages and are easily brushed off. Lasers or other heat sources do not burn into the paper. Close inspection has revealed that foreign substances are stopped from actually coming into contact with the pages. At least 5 micrometers of empty space are always present between the pages themselves and any foreign materials that might come into contact with them. For this reason, 152 does not decay, which also means that it has proven impossible to determine 152's exact age. 152 is self-updating, with newly inked entries and new descriptions of how the last human died, appearing at unpredictable intervals, always on the last page of the book. The date that a new entry appears corresponds with the date given in the entry for the death of the last member of the human species. When space becomes an issue, extra pages appear along with the text, and the spine of 152 broadens accordingly. There have been a number of updates to the book since it came into Foundation custody. As with past events, 152 has proven to be up to date on current events until a point at which a catastrophe occurs. Because recent entries frequently concern entities or groups of interest to the Foundation, including the Foundation itself, 152 is to be checked regularly for any information of importance. At the current date, there have been 5 updates and 1 incident report added on file. Update 1. With the acknowledgement made that letting this thing lie around where the public could find it is dangerous to us, is there any real reason to study it? Outdated, hypothetical disaster scenarios aren't our concern. We've got plenty of real ones in the present to deal with. A statement made by 05 Command. Update 2. The book is accurate enough about pre-disaster Earth that it makes a decent guide to the present. Plus, it gives a little perspective on the big picture of what some SCPs could do if they got loose. I think all researchers with a clearance ought to read the last 50 pages or so, just to drive home how important what they do here is. For want of a nail and all that. A statement made by Dr. Jansen. Update 3. Jansen, half the entries in the last 50 pages show the Foundation screwing up and killing everybody. A statement by 05 Command. Update 4. Like I said, it gives a little perspective. A statement by Dr. Jansen. Incident report. On a certain night, the security guard on camera duty noticed that 152 was missing from the reading room. However, by the time she had finished searching for the switchboard to report As this was the fifth such occurrence of sudden disappearance and reappearance, a simple test was conducted with a high-speed camera, a sensitive electronic scale upon which 152 was placed, an alarm set to go off if the weight upon the scale abruptly changed. The next 3 updates to 152 all set the alarm off, and the high-speed camera revealed that 152 vanished from sight for exactly 1 second each time. The 5th and final update. I posit that the book isn't actually being updated as such. It's actually being replaced. And each time it changes, we are actually receiving a new edition of it. I would very much like to find out where these are coming from. A statement from Dr. Jansen. And finally, we are left with the special containment procedures in place for 152. 152 is to be kept in a locked chamber in Site 49, henceforth referred to as the reading room. The reading room is off limits to personnel below clearance level 2. The reading room will be equipped with 1 ceiling lamp, 1 security camera, 1 scanner copier printer to be restocked with paper and ink as needed, 1 standard office chair, and 1 standard office desk, upon which 152 will rest. When not in use, 152 is to be turned to its last page, so that any additions made to it can be immediately observed. A single guard will be posted outside of the reading room to deter unauthorized persons from entering the reading room. All personnel are advised to remain quiet if they are near the reading room. And with that, we have come to the end of this file, and will now move on to our second and final file for today. Item number SCP-153, classified as Euclid. 153 appears to be a species of nematode roundworm that can reach a great amount of length and diameter. Specimen of 153 live in sewers and drain pipes, and while specimen of 153 can live off most any organic material, they prefer to consume animal tissue. Specimen of 153 excrete a highly acidic substance from their mouths and gullets, and they have the ability to camouflage themselves both outside and in. 153 has developed a hunting technique where a specimen will swim up a shower or bathtub drain, dissolve the drain cover with its acidic saliva, and camouflage its gullet to look like a standard drain. Shortly after a human enters the shower or bathtub, the specimen will disappear back down the drain, leaving almost nothing behind. The entire process usually takes seconds. There are currently only 4 additional updates added on file. Update 1. A comment by Dr. Kovalenskia. Specimen of 153 are to be kept isolated from each other, except under controlled breeding conditions. Update 2. Certain incidents suggest that specimen of 153 have started attacking people through sink drains and toilets. Researchers are investigating how such an apparently simple animal can develop such relatively sophisticated hunting techniques. Update 3. Dr. Kovalenskia has received approval to start a breeding research program with 153, with emphasis on genetic engineering. Update 4. A controlled release of 153 instances has been proposed as a potential containment method for stalling the spread of another certain SCP. Approval is pending. And finally, we are left with the special containment procedures in place. Specimen of 153 are to be kept isolated in acid-resistant containers, measuring no less than 10 meters by 10 meters by 5 meters, partially filled with sewage and organic material at Bioresearch Area 12. Every 4 hours, both the level of organic content and the structural integrity of each container must be checked. Under no circumstances are these containers to be connected to any internal or external plumbing systems. Specimen of 153 almost certainly still exist in the wild. Any reports of people mysteriously disappearing from showers and bathtubs must be investigated immediately. Agents must be equipped with infrared and ultraviolet sensors to circumvent 153's camouflage. Specimen should be brought alive to Area 12, if at all possible. And with that, we have reached the end of today's audio. Please feel free to leave a like and feedback in the comments. And I hope to see you all next time.